What is up, Rust friends? My name is Edie,
And my name is Teddy.
and you are listening to the Rust Friends podcast, and we are back live streaming for you guys. We're super excited. I can't wait to hear what all of you guys have to say, especially because we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble. Rust friend, how are you?
I'm good, restaurant. How are you?
I'm doing so good. And you know what? I was really excited about this Rumble, especially for the women's match, right? Because I feel like that's what
Yeah.
we get more excited about. Because I feel like there's just a lot more possibilities with the women that it's just fun. And yeah, I was really, really excited about this. How did you feel going into this year's Royal Rumble?
I honestly nothing because I really wasn't sure what to expect. I
Yeah.
really I really wasn't, but at the same time I was ready for whatever was coming. I knew there was going to be little surprises, but I
Mhm.
wasn't sure of like
What they would
anything.
be.
I didn't want to speculate or anything. I'm like I just want to be surprised.
All right, so let's get started. We are going, look at this. Ugh, 10 out of 10. There's just so many cool things that happened this year. So, first things
Mhm.
first, we're going to talk about the women's match and Miss Natty, who was at number one. Now, when she came out at number one, restaurant, I was like, oh my goodness, what a great pick, right? Like, I feel like Natty is such a staple in the women's locker room.
Mhm.
And to have her be number one, I'm like, yes, because she can set the tone, she'll hold it down. And I thought this was a great pick for number one. What did you think?
No, I'm so happy too. I think Natty, we've talked about it so many times. Natty doesn't get her flowers enough.
Mhm.
And I feel like at least her coming in at number one is like I don't know, a big thing. I feel like anyone would want to come in as number one, right?
Yeah. So oh man, it was really exciting to see her. And I guess the position number one and number two are like the same thing, right? Because you're technically both
Yes.
starting.
Yeah.
So Natty's in the ring, she's chilling, and we're like, all right, who's gonna be number two? And then we hear, bring it to the floor. Rest friend, oh my goodness, I was so excited. I'm like, there's
Yes.
no way. Because I feel like I knew that Trinity was going to go back to WWE, right? But I just didn't know when it was going to happen. And again, with the women's match this year, there were so many possibilities because, there was rumors of maybe Sasha Banks returning, of Naomi, and then was Jade going to finally debut? So there was just so many things that could have happened, but having Naomi come back and the lights were black and then, she was glowing in the dark and the music hits and she's dancing. I was just so excited to see her back. What were your thoughts about Naomi being back?
I'm not gonna lie, hearing her theme song made me a little emotional. I thought that was so nice. And then you can see in her face how genuinely happy she was.
Yeah.
So that made me very happy for her.
I'm so glad she's back, and I really hope that with this she gets a good title run, right?
Yep.
Because I feel like they did her dirty a lot of times in WWE. So Naomi, this is going to be your year. I mean, I feel like this is going to be the year of a lot of women, but I really
Yeah,
want Naomi to have a fantastic
me
year
too. Me too.
because she deserves it.
Uh-huh. Yes, she sure does. And it's like other people have mentioned, she was done dirty, but even though she was out there in independence doing her own thing, she never said a bad thing about WWE. And now
Exactly.
she's back and she looks so good. I love how the crowd received her. It was so nice. I'm so happy for her. I really hope this is the year where Naomi becomes WWE champ and she holds that title for a long time because she proved on Impact that she's champ potential, right?
Yeah. And again, it's such a big deal because Naomi is one of the women who was on the roster or one of the superstars who was on the roster, left the company and then just became so huge somewhere else, really the face of a women's division and somewhere else. And to come back like, all right, you guys, we cannot play this time. We have to be serious about things. So
Yeah.
really, really glad to see Naomi. At number three, we had Bayley, which I think great choice. Bayley was a fan favorite. She was my pick to win. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, I know Russ. I immediately thought about you because I was like, Russ loves Bayley. Like that's her
I
girl.
did.
Bayley comes out at number three, Russ. Did you think she had a chance?
I mean, of course I believe in her. I just didn't I wasn't sure what to think just yet. I don't want to like skip right and talk
Yeah.
about what happens with them, but of course I always believe in Bailey. I just think it's so funny how okay, obviously right now she's a heel, so
Yeah.
I was expecting for her like when Damage Control comes out, I was expecting for her to be a little shady. So I know
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little later, but yeah, I honestly had no idea what to expect, Restaurant. I really did not.
Oh man, it was just something about the Rumbles. It's so exciting all the time. You're just like, okay, every couple minutes or however many seconds it is, someone new's gonna come out, and it just changes the dynamic, right? Every
Yes.
time. So Bailey came out at number
Yes.
3. Then we had Candice LeRae, and I love Candice. I don't think she gets enough shine on the main
She
roster.
doesn't.
Did great
Hmm.
in NXT, and even when she was in NXT, I feel like she was just barely getting to like that full, height of what she could be doing with Johnny Gargano and of course Indy and Dexter. So, that happened. But she was in at number 4, and then number 5 comes in and I'm like, what is this music? I don't recognize this because
Hmm.
Impact, right? But I know who Jordan Grace is. She's a powerhouse. And boom, Miss Jordan Grace appears. And I said, oh my God. Restaurant, what was going through your head when you saw Jordan Grace come out?
Crazy. That was really cool. That was very, very cool. And you never really know what to think because this has happened before, right? They've had people from Impact and WWE, but then you never really know what to think. Like, is this gonna be a partnership or is this just a one-time thing? But at the same time, that was very exciting to see her there. And she looked so good. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. She looked like the powerhouse that she is. Like she looked very good.
it's crazy because she's not the first woman from Impact to show up, right? I mean, I guess it's TNA now, so she
Right.
is technically, but Mickey James did this, and people were also saying on social media, they're like, "Well, we would hope that in the future, if they are working together, that they do keep WWE does keep talking about TNA
Hmm.
because." After Mickey James showed up in the Rumble, yeah, they talked about it for like a week or two, but then they never mentioned Impact Wrestling ever again. So if it turns out like that, then that's really sad. But I would hope that, this is kind of like a partnership. And Triple H did say something about like, I'm not going to say like Forbidden Door because Forbidden Door is silly or something like that. So I would hope that this partnership is solid. And who knows? Seeing this, I expected Impact Men in the men's Rumble, and we didn't get that. So I was like,
Yes.
aw.
Yes. Same.
All right. So after Jordan Grace, who Pat McAfee, who was on commentary for this, he was like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "Well, what's happening?" And he's like, "That's the women's TNA champion." Like crazy. So they were explaining to him. They really made her look like a star. Commentary really helped out on
Yes.
this, and I
Yes.
think he did a really really good job. So
I
after
agree.
Jordan, we got to see Indy Hartwell, who I love Indy, and
You do love
oh
Indy.
my god, I just feel so bad because she got injured and then she had to relinquish her title and then they moved her up. So she's just had unfortunate events on the main roster. But Indy came out next, and then we got Asuka, Ivy, Katana Chance, Bianca Belair, who got an amazing reception. I feel like all of the women should get amazing receptions, right? But because I feel like for the men, every time some guy comes out, they're like, "Oh my god, amazing!" And the women, they're just like, "Oh, okay," which is
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah.
y'all got to keep the same energy.
I know. I don't get it.
I hate it.
I'll never get it.
It sucks. But Bianca got great reception, and then we got Kyrie Sane. So with that, we had Damage Control in there, right? So we're like, all
Hmm.
right, cool. Bailey's gonna get helped out, but it seemed like it was a little iffy, right? Like Bailey was very like, what's gonna happen? Are you here for me? Are you not? What were you thinking, best friend?
Well, I saw her face immediately when Asuka came in. She didn't look too happy. She looked a little surprised, like,
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure what she was thinking, but she looked a little shady, and I was like, I'm watching you, Bailey.
I know. 'Cause I was like, I felt a little scared. 'Cause I'm like, "What is happening? Am I supposed to feel like this?" Because mind you, like, I haven't been watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, so, like, I know that there's drama in Damage Control, and the fact that Bayley's the
Hmm.
only one not holding a championship, of course, that puts a strain on any faction, right? Because they're like,
Right.
"Alright, who's picking up technically, like, the dead weight? Like, we're all champions, we're holding up our end, what are you doing?" So,
Yes.
interessante.
Hmm.
After, Kyrie, we got Tegan Knox, who also fantastic. But again, she's been, unfortunate events here and been injured. So she's been on and off, and now she's with Natty. So let's hope that she gets a good push this year. And then Kaden Carter, Chelsea Green, who
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green killed it in this year's Rumble. I thought she did so well. She did, even though a lot of people will be like, oh, well, she's only there to be a funny girl, to be like the comedic moments. It's hard to be that person, right?
Yes, it
You have
has to be.
You have to be good with your timing. You have to be really, like, prepared because there was a lot of moves that she was taking, like, you gotta be at the right spot at the right time, and your body has to match what's happening. So, she was just best friend, she had me hollering in this match.
Let's also talk about the fact that she puts in time and effort on her looks. She
Yes.
always looks great. Her gear, she always kills it with the gear. She always does something different, something beautiful that stands out. And that's what I like about Chelsea too. Like not only does she know what she's doing in the ring, and it is very unfortunate that she gets injured every time she has a big moment,
Yeah.
but hopefully Chelsea Green won't be injured anymore and we get to see a little bit more of that goofiness that she has, but also what she knows how to do in the ring. Because I agree with you, she looked very well. She looked very good. I
Yeah, and on commentary, they talked about how last year she lasted 5 seconds, which
mean.
she referenced because after 5 seconds, she's like, "I lasted more than 5." Like, she was just so good, so entertaining, and she also came out, we were talking about her gear. She came out with the pride flag, which she did an interview, and she was saying, "Oh, I am trying to be an ally who just doesn't, like, speak up. Like, I also want to show and be on there with the line standing with my friends who are also allies." So, shout outs to Chelsea, 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved her, and soon after Chelsea came in, her tag team partner, Piper Niven, came in right before
Mhm.
Chelsea got eliminated, helped her. It was 10 out of 10, which now I'm just like, "Oh, man, you have a powerhouse in there." And when these things happen in the Rumble and a powerhouse comes out, things get shady, right? Because you're like, "All right, this is when people start forming groups, and you have to try to work together to get that person out." So Piper being in there, they accidentally called her Nia Jax. I don't know if you noticed this.
I didn't hear that, and I was literally just watching it right now too. I
Yeah,
didn't catch
they
that.
on they called her, Piper coming out, but then commentary, it was, I want to say it was Michael Cole that called her Nia. I'm like, "Oh, they're trying to get Nia over," and I'm like, that's offensive because
Honestly, that's a very weird mistake.
and it is, but, I guess in their defense, Nia Jax, came in a few people after, but I'm like, "There's just no way. There's no way." So
No.
Piper was in there, Xia Li came out, Zelina Vega came out, Maxine Dupree, and then when they were trying to get Piper out, and then they were like, "Oh, they're trying to get Nia," and then Nia came out, but I'm like, "No, no, that
Yeah.
can't happen." So
Yeah.
Nia Jax comes in, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go. What's gonna happen?" Because Nia is known to be a force to be reckoned with, right, in the Rumble.
Mhm.
And she's also
Mhm.
joined the men's Rumble, so that's intimidating enough.
Uh-huh. I agree.
Shotzi's out there, Becky Lynch is out there, Alba Fire, Shayna Baszler, Valhalla, who best friend. I
What I honestly, while I was watching this, I was picturing you cracking up.
best friend, you should have seen my face. I said, "Who?" And then Sarah Logan comes out, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And Michael Cole was like, "I hope she has the antlers. The antlers need to be on her." And I'm like, "What?" What I was so confused, so confused, and I'm like, "What is happening?" I have no idea, and she gets halfway, she's barefoot also, you know how we feel about people being barefoot. Unless you're Mike Bailey, it's not happening, right? Maybe Solo Sikoa, but
I
Solo always wore boots.
I love that you give Mike Bailey
Has
a pass. Like if you're Mike Bailey, you get a pass. Only,
if you're Mike Bailey,
only.
yes, if you're anyone else, cover them toes up. Um So she's like halfway to the ring, and then R-Truth's music hit, which restaurant I was cackling. I'm like, "Sir, there's no way you think this is your time right now. This is not the men's rumble." And that's what he thought it was. He gets in there face to face with Nia Jax and is like, where are the men?" Which is what I say when I'm outside, like, "Where are the men?" And he was very
Best friend.
confused. Nia throws him over the top rope, best friend. What were your thoughts when you heard R-Truth's music come out?
There was no thoughts, best friend. I was just going with the flow.
He
To
said
be
at some point,
honest.
"Sure."
Yeah, you know what? I thought that was better than Santino Morella's spot. I was never a fan of
Mm,
that whole. I forget what was the name of his
Santina.
Santina. Oh, it was Santina. Okay, I was never a fan of that. So I really enjoyed that spot way better than I did Santina. So I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, and I didn't know how I felt about I mean, I was cracking up, but then afterwards I'm like, "Well, I don't know how I feel about that because you you could have spent that time on a girl, but also, like,
Yeah.
if you put Sarah Logan in there, like, okay, good choice, like, eliminate."
To be honest, yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean, you know.
I couldn't really be mad about it, especially because, we will talk a little bit more about this after, recapping all the women's, but, like, there was not any legends in this
No.
Rumble, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I
Yeah.
think that they took this time and they were like, "Alright, we're gonna showcase the women that we have right now with our 3 brands," and then we got someone who we never thought was going to be back in the WWE. We have women who are debuting who are huge deals in the industry, so I thought that was a good choice on them, but, Valhalla did not make it. I don't know if I said that name right, but sure. And
Valhalla.
Valhalla. And then Michin comes in, Zoe Starks comes in, Zoe Stark, I'm
Okay,
um,
restaurant.
Roxanne
I see
Perez,
you.
and then we hear thunder, and I said, "Oh my god, what's happening?" And you hear, "A storm is coming," and I said, "Yes," because I absolutely love Jade's theme music, and that was my big thing. I'm like, "Man, if Jade comes in, like, you can't just have her to some random music, right? Like, she needs to come with the music that she had in AEW," and she sure did, and Rest Friend, what are your thoughts? Tell me what you were thinking when you saw Jade.
The power of Jade. Like just the theme alone. It's like the hearing her song alone was exciting. Seeing her come out, that was crazy. That was very crazy. I just I'm still trying to get used to her not being in AEW, but because we haven't seen her in the ring,
Mhm.
so seeing her come out, that was very, very nice.
Man, Jade, I'm so excited for her. Genuinely
Yeah.
so excited for her. And seeing her in the Rumble, like, and now, oh my God, there's just so many possibilities, right? Because we've been talking about this for months since we know that Jane's been signed.
Yeah.
That, oh, she can have so many bangers with Bianca Belair. And oh, like she could be doing so many things. Like this woman is WrestleMania, right? She's got that written
Yep.
all over her. And there was this moment where I can't remember who she's lifting up, but then Bianca at the same time is also lifting someone up. They look at each other and they
Mhm.
drop the women, and I'm just like, "Here it is. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be so good." I was just so excited. She made me so happy.
Yes,
Um,
that's right.
oh my God. It was great. She had wonderful moments. And then to top it all off, she goes face to face with Nia Jax and she lifts up Nia Jax, best friend. When I tell
Yep.
you, best friend, I felt so strong. I don't know what was happening. I felt like I was in the ring. Like when men watch sports and they're like, yeah, and they feel like they did it. I
Yes.
felt
That's how
like
you
I
felt.
lifted up Nia Jax. Like I felt strong, best friend. When I saw Jay do that, I said, let's go. I'm here. Let's do it. I've never felt so strong in my life, my friend, than when I saw Jade pick up Nia. Like, incredible. Incredible.
No, that was super cool. That was super cool to see.
The Don Pablo says that's gonna be money when it happens. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Rest friend, would you pay to see that match?
Oh, yes, of course.
10
Yes,
out
I would.
10 out of 10. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. But yeah, rest friend, I felt so strong. I don't know what was going through me. Something ran through my body.
I love that. No, restaurant. I love that because like you said, okay, you're comparing it to the men watching sports, right? Sometimes you honestly really do feel that way when you're watching wrestling. Not necessarily like, oh, I feel strong like them, but you love this sport so much that you feel like you're how do I explain it?
It's like you're part of the team. Like
Like you're part of the
you're
team. There
there.
you go. Yes.
Oh, I bet you that's how Tony Khan be feeling when he's backstage and he'd be watching things.
That's why he's so hype.
Oh man. And then right after Jade, we got to see Tiffany Stratton, who comes in and does an amazing swanton off the top rope. She is crazy, crazy good.
Yeah.
Love her. I'm
Yes,
I'm
she is.
for her. And then at number 30, I was like, all right, that's it. Like, who are we getting? I was like, we didn't see Lita, we didn't see Trish, which I didn't want. I'm like, because we've seen them so much throughout the years, right? Like, I feel like we can get somebody new. And then we got Liv Morgan, which I was like, all right, Liv. Shout
But
outs to
she
you.
looked amazing. I loved her look.
She said she was referencing like a Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera.
I don't know which song it was, but she looked good.
She looked so good. She looked better than Christina Aguilera.
Period.
Yeah, maybe because I'm not a fan of her, but she looked way better than Christina Aguilera. She looked really good.
Man, and the final 3 of this came down to Bayley, Jade, and Liv Morgan,
Liv Morgan. Mhm.
which oh my god. Oh, also, Bianca and Naomi and Jade had also a cool moment, and it's just like, oh my god. The possibilities are endless, right? Because these
Yes.
women are all so talented, super athletic,
Yeah.
and I'm so ready. I'm so
Me
ready.
too. I mean, the way that Bianca eliminated Jordan,
Oh,
um, how Jade eliminated Nia Jax as soon as she came in, like that was a very good Royal Rumble. I really, really enjoyed it.
and it's crazy because, like, maybe in some parts I felt like, oh, things happen. There's little hiccups.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happens? That's bound to happen, right? There's so many people in the ring. Everyone's got to remember, like, oh, okay, who's coming out. Like, I have to keep my mind on like a timer, and it's crazy, and there's chaos, and just watching it, you're like, you have to follow along with so many things, so you can only imagine what it's like being there.
Yeah, so many people that I mean, they don't even I'm sure a lot of these people haven't even gotten the opportunity to work together. So to have to be in the ring all together at the same time and know what to do and have to learn how to work with each other, it can be easy. So I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really have no complaints. I think a lot of the women really, really showcased what they're good at.
Yeah. And it's all about teamwork there too,
Yeah.
because when Maxine Dupree came out, um, I don't know if it's might just be Maxine. But she came out, she was supposed to have this spot, with Bayley, and it was like a head scissors and it didn't really work, but like
Mm,
you kind of saw that Bayley was like, oh, like, let's try this again, right? And it's again,
mhm.
they've never worked together. So
Yeah.
and the ring is full of women. So you also have to like you can't just shit on these things all the time. Like things happen.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Oh my god, that's why, she shouldn't be in there." And it's just like, "Calm down. Calm down, sir. Go back to typing in your basement. Go back to eating your grilled cheese sandwich. Relax, okay? These things happen." So, I didn't think it was that serious. I actually like the fact that Bailey helped her and attempted it again.
Mhm.
Mind you, again, it wasn't perfect, but it's like they tried. They
Yeah.
executed the spot that they were supposed to execute and it got done. So, that's all I have to say
I
about that.
agree. I agree, restaurant. No, I agree with you.
So we got down to the final 3 women. Rest friend, when you saw it was down to Liv, to Jade, and Bailey, what were you thinking? Were you like, "All right, maybe Jade's gonna get it," or "This is Bailey's time," or no, what about Liv?
I thought Jade was gonna get it. I
Yep.
really thought that Jade was gonna win. I feel like that was what most all of us were thinking, right?
Yeah.
What were
And,
you thinking? I want to know what you were thinking.
when Naomi was in there, I'm like, "Dang, you can't bring back Naomi and not have her win a
Yeah.
Rumble. Like, that's insane." So then, I wanna say Jade also eliminated Naomi. So hold on, I have them here. Naomi number 2. Yeah, Jade eliminated Naomi. So,
Oh yeah, it was.
dang, that's insane. So when
Yep.
Naomi was no longer there, I'm like, all right, then Bailey was still there. And I'm like, I guess like my favorite, Bailey, it's gotta go to Bailey, right? But I'm like, but it could go to Jade. Like your mind starts going to so many places because you're like, all right, these possibilities. And Liv just came back, and Liv is also very deserving of
Yeah.
winning a rumble because she's gone through it. So she's also, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but she's been in all 7 Rumble matches, which I talked to you before we started recording that I'm like, we've had 7 years of women's Rumbles. Insane. Time
It
flies
doesn't even feel
by.
that way.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I feel like just yesterday we were getting our first one, and
Yeah.
I watched that back so many times, Rush Friend, and I literally cry every single time. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
There's so much emotion in watching that first women's Rumble. But, yeah, Bailey was my favorite, but I really did think that for a solid moment, Jade could be the one to take it. But we got Bailey as the winner for the Women's Rumble this year. What are your thoughts, Russ friend?
Oh, I'm
Where
so excited.
what is she doing? Who is she picking?
I'm so excited for her. Rhea Ripley, right? Hopefully. I don't know. That's who I'm hoping. I
Mm,
don't I know it's gonna happen. I know Damage Control is going to be separated or broken, right?
Mhm.
But I don't want that to happen yet. How nice would it be for Bayley to also be the champ at the same time as Io?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see that, but I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the opposite of you.
You
Eh,
are?
I
Okay.
I think she's gonna be like, "Well, I think Io's just such a great champ, and if you guys want me to prove myself, then I have to fight somebody here. So, in my own group." So I would
I
say
mean,
she might pick Io.
yeah, I mean, she's been acting shady for a while, so I see it happening.
And then so that would leave, like, Rhea out in the open for someone else. So I think, like, maybe Naomi, but, like, it's hard because Rhea is a heel, right? Heel, and I
Yeah,
say in quotes because she's not really, because she is beloved by everyone. So
yeah,
anyone that you put against Rhea automatically is going to be the heel. So they have to be very careful with how they play this out, especially if it's going to be at WrestleMania.
yeah. That's so true, restaurant. I wonder if it would be too soon for them to just have Jade against Rhea already. I kind of feel like it is because would it be too soon to have Jade lose against Rhea Ripley or too soon to have Rhea lose against Jade? I feel like they both are a little too soon, but at the same time, it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So how cool would that be?
Yeah, man. Again, possibilities are endless. And I think people really want to see Bianca versus Jade, and that's a WrestleMania match in itself. So you don't even need a championship
Yes.
for that.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess they could hold off on Jade for a little bit, but Rhea needs some solid competition, right? Because I feel like, yeah, she has been having some matches, but no one is up to the level of Rhea Ripley, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. Last final thoughts on the women's Rumble restaurant. And I know we kind of mentioned this during, but Liv and Natty have been the ones who have been in all 7 Rumble matches. So shout out to them. They're amazing. Love it.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The OG baddies.
Yeah, but overall restaurant, did you enjoy this women's Rumble this year? Because a lot of
I
people
did.
online, they were like, I absolutely hated it. So you absolutely hated it or you absolutely loved it?
I absolutely loved it. Like I said, I have really not that I don't have complaints. Like I I enjoyed everyone they chose. We got to see a lot of faces that we don't really get to see on TV. We
Mhm.
got to see a lot of new faces. Like you said, Naomi is back. To see the way that Jordan Grace um was working in the ring was really nice. Bianca Belair, Jade, Bayley winning. I really actually enjoyed this Royal Rumble match, best friend. Zero complaints.
Yeah, and I thought it was good. Having no legends in the match really allowed them to give those spots to women on their roster, right? Who are going to keep competing.
Yeah,
And that's also something that I've had issues with, like in the men's matches. Like, if you're not bringing back, if someone's going to win the Rumble, they need to be on the roster and competing, right?
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
can't just, like, if The Rock would have shown up in the Rumble, and I'm just like, all right, sir, if you're not going to fight, then why did you win that Rumble? Because there's so many other men who have worked their butts off all year to try to get
Yeah,
this opportunity, right? So
yeah,
with the women's match, I'm like, perfect. You got your girls from NXT. You're really showcasing, because like Roxanne Perez, she's killing it. She showed up. Women who are not so featured on the main roster, they also were able to be showcased so well. So I think this year they did a really, really great job with showcasing the talent that they have right now on the roster. What is it fun to see the legends? Absolutely.
yeah.
But I don't think this year we needed it because we had a stacked roster, especially with Jade coming in and Naomi returning.
And
So
Naomi returning. I
yeah,
agree.
I thought it was a 10 out of 10. All right, so let's move on to the men's rumble. And man, there was so much going on in the men's rumble. So Jay Uso comes out at number 1, main event Jay Uso. Shout outs to him. And immediately, best friend, I'm like, oh man, it would be so cool if Jimmy comes out, right? Because I'm like, that would just be so dramatic. And then boom, Jimmy comes out, best friend. I was on the floor.
You were feeling it, best friend. You felt it. You knew it was gonna happen.
Best friend, I felt like I was booking this rumble. I was so excited. I'm like, "Oh my god, the family drama," because, I'm here for, like, oh my god, this is so novela-like, and
You're here for the chisme, best friend.
this whole bloodline story had been It's just been very novela like.
Yeah.
So I love that. Let's feature C Henry right now. It said if WWE booked the Raw Women's division better, Rhea woulda won, or Rhea woulda what? What
Rio
we're
would have
miss-
won.
we're missing a little bit of that, sir. Reply again. But yeah, when Jimmy and Jay were first, I'm like, all right, this is about to be popping. What are your thoughts on Jimmy and Jay being technically, the first two to start the match?
I mean, cool. I honestly I wouldn't have written that any better, restaurant. That was
Yeah.
that was pretty fucking cool. Two brothers that right now are in, pretty much hate each other.
Wow.
I feel like if I was fighting with one of my siblings, I would definitely would love to have a match on TV and be the first two to come out in the Royal Rumble and be all dramatic. Like you said, it's like a novela. Like I really thought that was cool.
Yeah. Here we go. Now we got the full message. If WWE would book the Raw Women's division better, Rio would have some options because there's some good talent on the roster. Absolutely agree. Um, yeah, I guess it depending on, because like Rhea, people love her already, right? So you would have to book the women to be showcased more. Like I said, I don't watch Raw. I'm not watching SmackDown. So sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, as long as they don't give us another match like her Survivor Series match, which wasn't horrible, but as the champion, Rhea Ripley, like we could have had gotten better.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, Miss Fran. It's just that Survivor Series match was fine.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
okay.
that's what I can say, we were there.
Right, right.
Oh, man. At number 3, we got Grayson Waller, who I'm like, "Yes, I love Grayson Waller. I think he's so cool." And at number 4, we got the returning best friend, new theme song. He said, "El ídolo." I said, "Oh my god! It's happening! It's happening!" When you heard that, what was going through your head, best friend?
I rolled my eyes. I was like, of course he's here.
You said, "I knew this."
I'm yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not at all. I think you can uh, I don't know why I was gonna say you can tell he wanted to go back. I don't know. I don't fucking know this man. But at
No,
the
I
same
get
time,
you. It felt like he was
right?
standoffish more than
Right?
usual, right?
More than usual, exactly, more than when he was already in WWE first and then left for AEW.
Mhm,
I definitely already felt that he was gonna be back in WWE. My heart wanted him in CMLL, like he had talked about wanting to be.
mhm.
But so when I saw him in WWE, I was like, oh, of course. I just hope he has a better run this time. I really do because it's another right restaurant. That's our paisa. We of course we want him to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally like our homeboy. If we met, he would definitely be our homeboy. It's a very
You
thin
think
line
so?
between love and hate. I feel like that's gonna be the situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're gonna be like his sisters.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Can you guys leave?" Like,
Literally, like, can
gonna
you
hate
guys
us,
not?
but in a loving way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, I love those girls. I just don't want them near me.
But they're great, but far away.
Right.
Man, yeah, when I saw him come out, I'm like, "Great, Andrade." And you know what? It's interesting that you mentioned the CMLL because maybe he did wanna do that, but because of now with their partnership with AEW, maybe he knew more, right? And he's like, "I just don't wanna be in AEW anymore, so let me go back to
Yeah.
WWE." And Cody really changed the game with this, right? Because he showed that you can be someone else outside of WWE and come back and be a star. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on Andrade and see if they really do showcase him because it was nice to have like lucha libre at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. That was very nice. I'm not mad about him being there. I like I said, I just hope he has a better run. I hope they treat him like that star that came back. Like, okay, we have Andrade back.
Mhm.
Let's do something big.
And
Um,
I wanna say he's in Monday Night Raw because, he told Nick Aldis, "Oh, it's like, say hi to Zelina for me." And I'm like, oh, my heart."
okay. I
Yeah.
mean, also, yeah, and his wife is in the WWE. No, I know right now she's injured, or yeah, right, she got injured
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she
She's
got
rehabbing.
surgery and all of that. She's
Mhm.
rehabbing right now. So of course, I feel like a lot of us saw that coming. Um, but yeah, okay, Raw. We're gonna.
Let's see.
Will
Let's
I
see.
start watching Raw? I don't know, but let's see what happens with Andrade.
Once I start to see like what's happening with Naomi and Jade, like I am going to get back into watching because it's heading into WrestleMania and so many things could happen. So we'll just see what happens with that.
Facts.
At number 5, we got Carmelo, which Mello is money. So 10 out of 10. And then we got Shinsuke Nakamura, which Pat McAfee freaked out over him. And Corey Graves was like, "It's not the same Nakamura. He's not gonna like you." And that did not stop Pat McAfee from singing the little song
Good for him.
for him. He's like, "That's gonna be my friend regardless. I don't care that they're going through another phase. It's fine." Then we got to see Santos Escobar, which I'm like, "All right, let's go."
And the way Santos Escobar came, best friend, to me, that man, I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it's like the lucha libre in him, or the lucha libre in him, but like it's Mexicano, and
Yeah,
he always comes out representing that. So when he came out with his, I know it's not called a poncho, like the real
yeah,
actual word for it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know. I really loved his entrance, like the way that he just came in looking like badass.
amazing. And he has like this like aura around him, right? That he's like big, like he's a baddie,
Yes.
like he's hot
Like you
shit.
wouldn't like you wouldn't mess with him
Yeah.
simply. I think it's the hair because I think about Sergio. I don't think he looks like Sergio, but I think about Sergio. I really do believe that men with long hair like that looks so beautiful and well taken care of, there's some power in that hair. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. He does look intimidating. So
He looks like he could beat you up, but then when he got the Virgencita in front of him, then I was like, I get it. Like my mom would be like, "Yes, that is a man of God."
those those are the most dangerous.
Right?
Those are the most dangerous.
That's
The man
exactly.
that yes, yes. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, period. So then after Santos Escobar, we got Karrion Cross, and then we got Dominic Mysterio, which I cannot believe people still boo this man. Dominic, 10 out of 10, hilarious. Then we got to see Carlito, which I'm upset that you could have at least for the Rumble given him his old theme song, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand what it is with WWE and keep missing dropping the ball on Carlito. Like, what is going on?
Missed opportunities. And I'm like,
So
it was
many
right
missed
there.
opportunities.
It was right there. Like, even just for the pay-per-views, like, ugh, they're missing out on stuff. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby
Mm-hmm.
Lashley came in, and then Ludwig Kaiser from Imperium. This was his first Royal
Mm-hmm.
Rumble. Good for him, because it was also
Mm-hmm. Good for
Tiffany's
him.
first Royal Rumble, Tiffany Stratton. And then we got to see Austin Theory, Finn Balor,
Ugh.
and then my pick, Cody Rhodes. And I'm like, Russ friend, when they mentioned that, oh man, I don't know how many years ago it was, probably over 10. But they're like, the last time somebody went back to back at a Rumble, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm like, all right, Cody, I don't know why they would mention that, but now you got to do it because
No,
they,
yeah.
they didn't have any fun facts for anybody else. So, Cody, I was like, you have to win, sir. Bronson Reed came out great. And then we got to see Kofi Kingston, which
Yep.
I was super excited to see him, but I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get him doing some cool, you know,
Like,
eliminated things like he used to do back in the day, right?
yeah, I agree on
Sad.
that. I was waiting for that too.
And I guess it's because, the last 2 times that he's done it, it hasn't worked out. But that you could have figured something out, right? Like they could have
I
done
mean,
something.
he could have tried again, and if he would have failed, I mean, I think I would have been okay. I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah.
But now that
Which
I think about it, Naomi as well. Naomi didn't do anything like that.
I think that maybe it's getting a little too risky, but I don't know if you noticed going back to the women's match, Kyrie Sane, one of her feet touched the floor. And then I'm like, I get it. It's not both feet touching the floor.
Uh-huh.
And so then she like lifted her feet up and then she was eliminated. But I'm
And she
like,
was eliminated.
yeah, but then I'm like, if it's both feet touching the floor, then people could just hop around on one leg, right? Like, why didn't they, like, why was it a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. Somebody needs to like show me evidence. Like,
Triple H.
Triple H, I need to have a conversation with you, sir. So after Kofi Kingston, we got to see Gunther, which is
Mm-hmm.
so intimidating. 10 out of 10. Love a man
Mm-hmm.
who's intimidating. Ivar, Braun Breaker came out. Omos came out. That man is huge. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the camera angle was also very favorable to him because they were like all the way down here. And of course, you're gonna look
Mhm.
like a shine in that position. And
Mhm.
then Pat McAfee's music hits, best friend. I
Uh-huh.
was very confused. And apparently, so was Pat McAfee. He was also very confused. He's like, "What's going on?" And then they're like, "Guys, go, you're in the Rumble." And word is, he did not know he was gonna be in the Rumble. So this was genuine Pat McAfee being like,
Oh.
"Oh shit, I'm in the Rumble."
Oh, like for real?
For real.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was his actual genuine expression of like, "Oh, I
I'm in
didn't
the
know."
Rumble.
That's why Michael Cole and Corey Graves were like, "Go, go, like you're in the Rumble."
Oh,
Now
that's good to know.
now I don't know if like if somebody told Pat like, "All right, once you're in there, like, okay, you gotta like get out. Like, we're not keeping you here long," or if they were just gonna toss him out anyway. But he tossed
Right.
himself out, which I thought was very smart because also if he didn't know what was happening, he's like, "I'm not gonna intervene so long. Like, it's just a waste of a number, right?"
Exactly. I know. I think that was a very good spot. Like, okay, I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm out of here.
He's like,
That
"I'm
was a good
telling you,
little spot.
this is not for me. I thought it was for me. It's not for me." Um,
That's a
then
smart
we
man.
really is a smart man. Then afterwards, we got JD McDonough, which is he?
Which one?
I say that because I know he's in the Judgment Day, but, like, is he really?
Right.
He's not.
No, literally, best friend. I understand your question. I don't have an answer for that.
Like, they brought him up from NXT and then, like, to do what? I was
No,
confused.
yeah.
I'm still confused by him.
I,
Then
I
after
wonder if it was Finn Balor just advocating for him.
yeah, and
Because
also
other than
Finn,
that, I don't know.
get better friends. Like,
Hmm.
then we got to see R-Truth, which he was in the correct Rumble this time. Shout out to R-Truth. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Pat could have left them fight for, like, 2 minutes and beat Michael's record. For real, because Michael Cole was like, "Oh, I've been in the Rumble for like a minute and 20 seconds." But when Pat eliminated himself, he's like, "Well, my record's still intact."
That is so true.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Our Truth came out. He was in the correct Rumble this time. Shout outs to Truth. And then
Hmm.
he did the funniest thing, Russ friend. I've never seen this happen in a Rumble. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong that this has never happened. He was like, "All right, Dom, tag me in. Tag me in."
Oh, yeah.
Dominic Mysterio's like, "What are you talking about?" Very confused.
I
And
believe I believe that is the first time restaurant.
really? Oh my god,
Yes.
it was hilarious, and it's never gonna be able to be duplicated as well as R-Truth
No.
did. And then I don't remember who came up behind Dom and he was choking him, but then Dom reaches out and he's like, "Ah!" He's like trying to get get R-Truth, finally tags in. R-Truth comes in hot. The crowd is absolutely living for it, and I was living for it too. Shout outs to them. I thought that moment was hilarious. What did you think
Yes.
about it?
No, that I thought that moment was hilarious too, friend. Like we talked about this. Like when it comes to the Royal Rumble, it's such an enjoyable match. Watching skits like that just makes it even more fun because we're already having such a fun time every time the clock shows up and the countdown. So to have a spot like that with R-Truth twice in the night, I'm not complaining.
Amazing. It was so good. And right after R-Truth, we got to see The Miz. We got to see Damian Priest, which was the rest of the Judgment Day. I was very upset that Damian was the one to eliminate R-Truth. I said, "Guys, come on.
Hmm.
Just let him
Yeah.
in the group. He's selling your merch. People love him. And people love the Judgment Day, right? They love to hate them. So this would just be
Yeah.
the perfect match for me." Then afterwards, we got to see CM Punk. I don't know where that sound came from, restaurant. I'm so sorry. That was so random. I think my soundboard did that by itself. I don't know what that was.
I hate you, restaurant, because I wasn't gonna react. I was like, I have nothing to say about CM Punk. I can't stand you.
Oh, what? Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
Woo.
Comes out at 27, and I'm like, "Oh my god," because the crowd went crazy for him, and, I don't have any thoughts on that. Moving on to number 28, Ricochet. That's my dad's boy. My dad
That's your
loves
dad's boy.
loves Ricochet. He was so excited to see Ricochet. And then Drew McIntyre at 29, and I'm like, "All right, things are getting serious. You got a lot of good contenders. And number 30, I'm like, who could be number 30? People were disappointed that it was Sami Zayn, but I'm like, Sammy makes perfect sense of the year that he's had. It's been
Yeah,
incredible. So
yeah.
I was not upset the fact that Sammy was the final entrant.
I
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't upset either. I think the only the what was going through my head was the fact that obviously they were kind of hyping up the fact that Royal Rumble was going to end with such like a huge like something huge was going to happen.
Yeah.
But then again, what do we expect? Like, why do we keep expecting huge things to happen in shows? I feel like we have to stop that and we have to just continue going with the flow because I don't like being disappointed. So, but
Same.
no, Sami Zayn coming out, did I think it was going to be someone else? Yeah, who? I don't know, but I did think it was going to be someone else. But seeing that Sami Zayn was very nice because, like you said, the year that he's had, he was gone for how long was he gone? 2, 3 months?
Yeah. It felt like a long time.
Yeah,
Oh man. Shout out to Sami Zayn. These a lot of these people on the roster, they are such workers. I was gonna say horsemen, but like
workhorses.
and they deserve to get their moments, right? But it doesn't
Hmm.
matter because the person who got their moment was Cody Rhodes. And oh my goodness, best friend. When it was down to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, I thought I was gonna vomit.
Oh my gosh, best friend, me too.
Mm.
Because the thought of Cody losing, I would have been so mad, best friend. I was preparing myself. I was like, okay, I gotta be prepared to either be happy or to either be very angry because I would have been very angry had Cody lost.
And when CM Punk was announced, back in WWE, my initial thought was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna win the Rumble." Like even
Yeah.
before, people had talked about the Rumble happening, I'm like, "He's gonna win the Rumble and he's going to Mania." And he's facing Rollins and there's just no way he's not winning, right? And it was kind of sad because I'm like, "No, like this is supposed to be Cody's time. Like this is supposed to be
Yeah.
Cody." And I was like, my anxiety was at like an all-time high because I'm like, no, this needs to be Cody's time. And there was some moments where CM Punk was picking it up and I was like, no, like this can absolutely not happen. And there was one thing that he did that was like, he said, I'm not gonna lose to Dusty's kid or something like that.
Mhm.
And then Cody
Mhm.
said, yeet, and threw him out the top rope. And best friend, when I tell you I was up, I was like I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like, there's no way. Cody becoming the second person to win the Rumble back to back, I want to say.
Back to
Yeah,
back.
right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Incredible. Incredible accomplishment. And I'm so excited that now Cody Rhodes is gonna main event WrestleMania. It's gonna be so good.
That that was Dusty Sun that did it.
Mm, period. And then he did a little and then the best friend.
Oh my god. That always makes me emotional. I am not scared to admit that and say that out here live and on our podcast. Like the love he still has for the elite just melts my heart. Like I wasn't expecting even to see. I missed it when I was watching it live. By the way, I missed that part, and it wasn't until Sergio showed me the next day, and I'm like, wait, he did it again. I'm like, how the hell did I miss it? I was so happy. That was so cute.
It's amazing, and oh my god, and I know the Bucks and Kenny are also like, "Yes, he's going to Mania again," like, winning the Royal Rumble, that's such a huge deal, and that just shows how much they truly love each other because they've been through so much together, right?
So
So
much.
and the fact that the Elite kind of really, like, protected Cody while he was, like, in the indies, right? Like, they helped him, it was so sweet. Amazing.
It was just like you got your moment, Cody, and you're still thinking about your guys, and you're still giving love to your guys, even though you're in a totally different company. You just went against the guy that fucking basically almost ruined their career.
Which, Russ friend, let's talk about that, right? Because my dad was watching, because I watched this back with my dad, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be CM Punk and Cody." Like, what did he say? He's like, they're probably like excited to fight each other. And I said, no. Cody's probably like, how dare you to CM Punk? Because how are you going to start? Like, Cody started a whole company which brought CM Punk back into wrestling. And then CM Punk tries to ruin that company. There's just no way that Cody's like, all right, we ain't got no beef. Like, in the back of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
head,
yeah.
he's like, fuck that.
He has to have thoughts. Absolutely. Do I think he hates him? Maybe not. Cody looks like the type of guy that can't hate many people. So
Yeah.
I really don't think he hates him. But there has to be thoughts behind it. He must feel a certain type of way, especially now seeing the love that he keeps showing for his boys. Like there has to be some thoughts in there. We'll find out one day, best friend.
We will find out. Cody will tell us at the cookout. We'll find
Well,
out.
at the carne asada,
Carne
exactly.
asada, absolutely. The one that we're gonna throw one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
So, who do you think Cody is going to pick to face at WrestleMania?
Well, didn't he pick Roman already, or he hasn't officially picked anyone?
He hasn't officially. Rollins was like, "Why don't you pick me?" And I said, "Rollins, be so serious.
Oh.
There's no way. It has to be Roman Reigns, right?"
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like everyone keeps saying, I hate saying this term. I think it's because of Cody, but he has to finish his story.
Amen. I'm
He
right there
has
with you,
to.
restaurant. He has to finish the story, and it has to be at WrestleMania. You guys cannot go past WrestleMania because I first of all, I already lost hope after you didn't give it to Cody because you were trying to have Roman past the 1,000 days. All right, cool. It's past the 1,000 days already. Let's move on. You can. We've known that you can still keep the bloodline story going without that championship. So, and it sucks that Rollins is injured, right? But he said he's gonna work really, really hard and rehab really hard to be ready. I think it's like 3 weeks before Mania, which is insane, right? Insane in itself to think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he's put a timeline like that because it might not happen. Really sad for Rollins because he might not get his WrestleMania moment. Also, now that Punk is injured, he got injured in that Rumble match. So
yeah.
there's so many things that could happen, but one thing that does need to happen is Cody winning the championship.
Oh my gosh, best friend. The thought. Have you talked about WrestleMania like yourself?
No.
And so the people don't know
About what?
about you and WrestleMania.
Oh, that I'm going to WrestleMania?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I
I
don't think I've
wasn't
said it. Guys,
sure.
I'm going to WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes. We're gonna finish this story.
Okay, so yeah, my thought every time, ever since he won, and every time I keep thinking about him in WrestleMania and him hopefully choosing Reigns, and of course him hopefully winning. I know I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna be so emotional. But the thought of you being there and seeing that in person,
Best friend, I'm gonna
I
record
hope that
every single
happens.
moment of it. I'm gonna send it back to you. Be like, best friend, Cody.
Crying, your best friend, FaceTime
We're gonna
me.
be
We're gonna be crying
we're gonna
together.
be crying together, best friend.
Yes, I agree. No, I seriously, seriously, I cried when he won his match at All In. I've cried so many times because of Cody Rhodes. Like, I would definitely cry if he gets to finish his story because he deserves it. Can you imagine? Like, WWE is already huge, right? And they already have huge stars like Roman Reigns and Rollins representing them. But to have someone like Cody Rhodes be the champion, I feel like it could elevate WWE even more, especially with the kids, because the kids love Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
The representation that he brings, it would be huge. So they better not drop the ball.
I'm gonna get a neck tattoo.
Restaurant, restaurant, restaurant. It's too early for this.
We got a comment that said the story has to finish against Roman, not Seth Rollins. And I absolutely believe
Agree.
that's true. I feel like
I agree.
people are tired of Roman. Nothing against Roman because he's been a great champion,
No.
right? We love Roman Reigns, but we gotta move on. We
Yeah.
gotta move on. And we can't keep this finish the story. This can't be like a Harry Potter series. We gotta wrap it up quick. This has got to be like a Twilight, a Hunger Games, even. We gotta three-part this and move on. So that's what I got to say about that. Rushford, final thoughts on the Rumble and in general, the pay-per-view or the
There was
PLE
a,
called now.
True. No, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the women's Royal Rumble match. I enjoyed the men's Royal Rumble match. I'm so happy with both the winners, Bayley and Cody. They both deserve it. I hope they both get to win. They're both my
Oh,
favorites. So I'm really excited for Cody, not gonna lie. I'm really excited for Bayley as well, but obviously it's two very different stories.
yeah.
So yeah, just the thought of Cody winning restaurant, like it warms my little wrestling heart. Just the thought of
I
it.
I hope that Cody's gonna win this match at WrestleMania. It's
Yeah.
gotta be in the cards. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw myself off of the 100 section. Um,
Rest friend, please do not. Please do not. I'm not sure how fast I could get a Philly if something like that was to happen.
best friend, how fast are we gonna be going on the bikes? Because best friend, we might have to bike it back. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Someone said so. Oh, see Henry. So you guys don't think that Roman will break Hogan's record? We don't acknowledge Hulk Hogan on this. On this.
Yeah, who even is that? I feel like Roman Reigns just has his own reign,
First of all,
right?
Roman Reigns. There's no comparison. No comparison.
Zero. Zero.
Roman is an amazing person, a great human being. He's gone through so much. He's a deserving champion, unlike some people. So yeah, do
Absolutely.
you think Bailey's gonna win the women's title? Absolutely. Think Bailey is gonna
Yes,
take it.
I do.
Both gonna get their moments. I mean, they got their cute rumbled winner t-shirts backstage. So they're just crowd favorites. And I really think that after this, Bailey won't be such a heel. I think she'll kind of go back to her baby face, not pigtail, but how she is right now, but a little happier.
You you think so?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm so used to her being a heel, and I feel like it has worked so well for her. Even though I do like the original Bailey with her little ponytail and everything, but I just feel like heel her she's on a different level. So that's very interesting, restaurant. I can't picture her being babyface again, but that would be very, very interesting.
I mean, I feel like it might not be by choice because like how it happened with Becky when she was the man and
Yeah,
people were supposed to hate her, but they loved her. And
yeah.
same thing that's happened to Rhea. Like you're not supposed to like Rhea right now, but everyone loves mommy. So
Everyone loves her.
yeah. So those were our thoughts on the Rumble, guys. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hit us up on literally everything. Restaurant, where can they find us on social media?
Our Twitter, our Instagram, our YouTube, they all have our link to our link tree, which has the link. It's called link tree because it has a link to all of our content, our podcast, again, our Twitter, our Instagram, at Rush Friends. That's where you can find us anywhere.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast, on this live stream. Thanks for interacting with us. We absolutely love being able to chat with you guys in real time. So thank you so much. And we will see you guys next week. We're going to talk about AEW. We're going to talk about the WWE video game. And I'm still playing the AEW mobile game, Rush Friend. I got chisme about that. Lord
I
Jesus.
love it. I was about to say next week we'll actually have some cheese made today. We wanted to
Yes.
go over the Royal Rumble, but next
Yes.
week we have some cheese made. So please tune in and
Yes.
join us.
And if you guys want us to talk about anything specific, leave it down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys want to talk about, and we will be sure to bring it up next week. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We will see you guys next time. Bye.